buddy. It's time, Marcus Heflin. It's time. Good morning, sir.
We got ourselves a day. Everybody buckle up, Buttercup. It's going down today. Welcome to Wednesday, and it should have been Tactical Tuesday. And yeah, we're just a day late with the tactics because we're about to bring the heat today. We have got a guest who is no fluff. All right. And I mean, no fluff. He's straight to the point, straight to the heart of the matter, whether it's in business, in conversation, or his felt physique. There's no fluff allowed in this man's life. Please, with over 7,000 homes sold, over $1 million year over year in business, reputable across the entire country. He runs the real estate conversation role play that goes on every single morning nationwide. Please welcome to the video and show, Mr. Denny Grimes.
Man, I feel like I'm on Joe Rogan's podcast. My gosh, what an intro. What a setup, you guys. Thanks.
Man, if we just got compared to Joe Rogan for the first time, Kyle, woo, we're starting off the day really well. Denny, welcome to the show, brother. We appreciate you being here, man.
Hey, look, I had to invite myself. I got a message I want to get out to the agents out there because I think there's a better way of doing business, and that's what I want to talk about. I've been talking so much about this. I got calluses on my tongue. So you ready to get going?
Yes, sir. Let's go, man.
All right, so I want to talk about agents leaving money at the table. I mean, I think it's a little bit of a twist on words because most of the time we're always talking about sellers don't leave money on the table, but agents are leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table. Now, as a point we were talking about before we launched is, if you're not getting to the table, then you don't even know what you're leaving. You got to get to the table, and really quick, and I know you talk about this every week. We talk about it in the bold room. I mean, there's only 4 stages to build a great listing business. And the first one is you have to talk to people. You know, I think Disney World would be great without kids. And I think succeeding in real estate would be great if you didn't have to talk to people, but you got to find a way to do it. And you know what? There's at least 20 ways to do it, but there is no shortcut. And if you're not talking to people, guys, you know what the problem is? What you think. It's mindset. Right. So I'm working to the table. Okay. So if you're talking to people, but you're not getting the appointments, then you're going to have to work on your conversations. That's why you should take advantage of Recon. I'll show you the QR code. Recon is a daily practice role play that Gary started that I'm one of the coaches on. You should be practicing because if you're making the calls and they're not making the appointments, it's what you say. And step 3, you guys, to get to a great business, particularly a listing business, you have to win at the table. And if you're getting to the table and you're not succeeding, we're going to talk about that right now because we don't want you to leave money on the table. Now, I don't know if you guys ever had a Rubik's Cube. You know, a Rubik's Cube is just like a Nordic track or a exercise bike. You get one and never use it, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever complete a Rubik's Cube?
I have never completed a Rubik's Cube.
One time.
Well, here's the issue, and I don't know why I was out walking today and I thought about the Rubik's Cube. You know, they have a world record. Take a guess, and they have competitions. The fastest world record on someone starting with a random Rubik's Cube. You know what the world record is?
30 seconds.
Week and a half?
No, just over 3 seconds.
What?
Google it. 3 seconds. I was going to show you, but I didn't know how to embed the video. Anyway, so it's 3 seconds. I watched it. And here's the setup. You know, they got this guy. He's sitting, and they've got the Rubik's Cube covered with like a napkin or something, so he can't like eyeball it and get it ready. Now, again, when we get to the table with buyers and sellers, they're like Rubik's Cubes. And so what we have to do, and so what they do in the competition is they take it away and they let the contestant take the Rubik's Cube, can't move anything, just turn it around a little bit. He has about 5 or 6 seconds to look at it. Then he puts it down and they say, go. 3.05 seconds, he's done the Rubik's Cube. Now, do you think that takes some practice?
Yes, sir.
Maybe once or a million times.
Does Gary say one of the top 5 things we should do on a daily basis is what?
Practice role play.
Yeah. See, I think practice and role play is the Maytag repairman of real estate. It's the one thing that people are afraid to do. Yet these people will spend hours. They'll get blisters and calluses practicing. And you know what? They have competitions. And you know what you can win? You can win up to $1,000. Oh, my gosh. I mean, why would those people that have that talent like sell real estate? You can make more than $1,000 in real estate, can't you?
Yes, you can. A lot more.
And the interesting thing is, I started to spend a few minutes on this because I couldn't figure it out. There are patterns.
Mm.
There are hacks. And when he had that 5 seconds to look at it, he was looking for the entrance to the puzzle. And so when we teach role play, we don't teach quote scripts anymore. We can't even say it. So you can like bleep me out if you want to. We teach conversations, and conversations will flow naturally if you listen.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, imagine you're having a party, which you probably do every other day. But if I'm coming to your house for a party and I'm landing at the airport, guys, hey, where's the party? I'm a little bit lost. Probably your first question is going to be, well, I can help you. I know where I am, but I don't know where you are. Where are you? That's what happens when the guy picks up the Rubik's Cube and examines it. That's what happens when we get to the table. We're examining the customer, which is the Rubik's Cube. And there's no one way to do it. It's examining and start asking questions and getting into conversation. So I'd like to share with you for a few minutes. We'll get into a role play, what I call the better way. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
So you want to quit leaving money on the table. Number one, I got 3 things I want to talk about. Stop taking listings you shouldn't take. Now, what is that? Typically speaking, if a seller does not have motivation and they look, I don't care. I'll wait till I'll sell after the rapture. I don't really care if the cows come home. I am not going to sell my house. I want $1.3 trillion for it. Well, unless there's some sort of ancillary benefit, don't take that. Because you know what? You're going to invest a lot of time and energy over something that won't pay off. That's right. Common sense, right? Because I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. You good with that?
Yes, sir.
Here's the one. Stop not taking listings you should be taking. I bet you haven't heard that before.
I have not.
Stop not taking listings you should be taking. Now, there's been a lot of teaching. I've been in real estate 40 plus years. And you know what? You talk about the 7,000 sales. My learning came with the 25,000 presentations that didn't work, not the 7,000 presentations that did.
That's a stat right there, ladies and gentlemen.
And so much of that, you guys have this. I put together a book that's coming out this year called The Mastery of Real Estate. It's a different way of thinking. It's a way to be right 100% of the time. Because I believe a professional should share what they know. Get this. Newsflash, and don't share what you don't know. Fair?
Fair.
Very fair.
And of course, then my last one is, we'll get into this in a second, stop listing property and start listing property owners. You see, too many agents focus on the property. We can sell a double wide in Afghanistan. It does not matter. However, how many times have you seen a home that's just totally magnificent? Could be right out of Southern Living, and it doesn't sell. It has nothing to do with the property. It has to do with the property owner. And there's a saying here, the most crowded state is the state of denial. And you've got to figure out if the sellers are living there. So let's talk about it. So let's do a little bit of role play. What I call the better way. This is step number 2. Stop not listing properties that you should be taking. Because how many of you guys that are listening, or you two right there, have walked away from a listing because you thought the seller was smoking sweet and low? And
100%.
The market either caught up to them or they capitulated to the market. Somebody else listed it. Somebody else got the closing, etc. Have you ever done that?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I call leaving money on the table. So, a couple different things. So, a professional knows what we should know, but we don't share what we don't know. So the 3 things that are knowable, there are only 3 things that are knowable. And Gary talks about this. Number 1's the past. So when you go into and you're at the table, you certainly would have to understand your value proposition and the things you do, etc. We don't have time in 25 minutes to cover everything and to exercise all the demons all at one time. However, I'm going to get to the pricing or the positioning conversation. When I have a conversation, when I teach my role play, when I teach my master class, I do my best as Mr. Miyagi to get rid of the word pricing in your conversation. It's all about positioning. Now, when I'm having a conversation with a buyer owner, unassisted seller, I will use pricing. Where are you going to price it? Positioning is surgery. Takes a little expertise for that. So why don't we? So the three things that we know that when you walk in, you should know. Do we know? Is the past knowable, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
On almost every CMA, and I don't really like CMA terms because I don't believe in them, but when you do a market study, a market analysis for a seller, I mean, we should know what's going on in the market. That's knowable. That's past. You could be 100% accurate. We should also know the present. I mean, we can say here, this home's been on the market 16 days. That one went pending yesterday. All of that stuff is knowable. Now, the third part is knowable. It's not the future. It's trends. Notice when Gary Keller goes to family reunion mega camp, he always gives you the state of the market, state of the union type speech, and talks about the market. Does he ever say, "Oh, this is what's going to happen"? No, he talks in terms of this is the trend.
Yep.
It's like a weather person saying, "Hey, listen, in the 10-day forecast, it's going to be in this range based on what? Based on past, based on present. This is a trend." So if you're an agent out there that does not understand the trend in the market, then there's people in your market. Senator can help you. You guys probably will do something on it. You can know what the trend is without a lot of work. You don't have to be a Poindexter. So I'm going to take a breath here because I know I'm shooting you with a bunch of stuff. What's rolling around in your brain before we do the role play?
Well, the number one thing is, even before this, the most crowded state is the state of denial. What an absolute banger right there. I love sitting here, and I have made the mistake, guys, just full transparency, and telling people the future. And I'm not a fortune teller, and that has bit me more times than I care to say. But if I reframe it as this is the trend based on the past and present, I can be right, like you say, 99% of the time.
I heard the Rubik's Cube to a customer, and what that makes me think about is that I can never walk into a situation assuming I know exactly what I need to say and how I need to say it. I've got to read them first and then find those shortcuts, the strategies in order to help close that deal, as long as it's a win-win on both sides. Another thing, Denny, words have exceptional power. Eliminating pricing and positioning, that alone, just saying it in this meeting right here, that's already powerful. I love that.
Well, I'll tell you one more word that you have to eliminate too. I was raised by my grandmother, and she said cracking my knuckles would send me to hell. So I'm going to tell you that there's a 4-letter word. It's not hell, it's tell. Never say the word tell. Let me tell you guys something. People don't want to be told anything. Because here's the issue. When you walk in and you're meeting with your Rubik's Cube, you don't know exactly how to tumble them. However, you want to read them. Great word there, Marcus. And the way you can read them is you have to ask them questions. Yes. If you're taking notes, get out your lipstick, mascara, whatever you're writing with, and write this down. Their inside voice is 100 times, maybe 1,000 times more powerful than your outside voice. And the only way you can make them speak to themselves is ask them a question that they have to answer mentally.
Bro, slow down, time out, pause button.
Yep.
What a statement that will live rent-free in my head forever. Their inside voice is 100,000 times more powerful than your outside voice. You have to make them author things inside their head. That's where the power is. Ladies and gentlemen, wow.
That is a much deeper understanding and a wonderful analysis of what we normally say about if you want to control a conversation, you ask questions. If you want to dominate it, you say, Danny, you just broke it down even more pointed, and that is fantastically done.
Well, can we take up the offering now, and I'll just go?
Right, yeah, pass the plate, man. I got my wallet out, buddy.
So let's do a role play, and I'll give you, and it'll be very fast. I got a hard stop because I got recon at the bottom of the hour. So I'm sitting with you guys, right? And so every market analysis, every positioning conversation, everyone probably does it the same way. You have past and present. Now, one more thing I say about the future, about the trend, is this. I'll just assume you guys are brothers. You're selling your folks' home that passed away or whatever. Now you have to dispose of the property. We get a lot of that in Florida. So let me ask you guys. I know you don't live around here. There's no wrong answer. Based on what you know about the market, do you think it's working in your favor or working against you as a seller?
I think in the beautiful state of Florida, it's working for us.
Yeah, we could be wrong about that. But anyway, but no matter what it is, here's the issue. Remember, we don't go to tell. Before you, the future is something that you want to find out where their starting point is. If they were to say, well, I see signs up everywhere, I think it's working against me. Now I know that I have momentum on my side, that they're somewhat in reality. So when you start your presentation, at some point, don't start becoming like an economist and going through the GDP and all this other bullcrap. Ask them, what do they think the market's doing? Is it working in your favor or against you? And I say, look, there's no wrong answer. I don't want them to be wrong. I just want to know what they think. So, all right. So you told me, no, if they give you the right answer, you'll basically, oh, you're right. You're right. You see signs everywhere. Now, okay. So then I'm going to go through, and you can show anyway. This is the fun stuff. Little trips, if you have your computer there or iPad and you're showing them the homes, and I put your buyer's hat on. This is fun. It's engaging for them. They like it. Well, how would you compare this home to your home? Go through all that stuff. One thing that I learned is kind of a little tip, you guys, because we get in a hurry, and I've learned, let them drive. Because we click through the pictures much faster probably than they feel comfortable. Let them drive. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah, we see it all the time and can go through it easy breezy. They need to take it in a little bit more.
I feel attacked right now. You're spot on, man. I always drive, and you're right.
Yeah.
I probably go through things too fast.
Guilty.
Yeah. So if they go through fast, that's good, right? Like, yeah, well, I got a pickleball match. Let's go. But you get my point. Okay, so you're going to go through all that. Then here's the issue. Now we're going to get down to brass tacks right now in the better way. So you guys, based on what we've looked at here, you can see that the past sales have been somewhere between 400 and 435 or 450. Now,
yes,
did you hear me use a pronoun there? There is no, this is a must. This is a wax on, wax off moment. Do not put your fingerprints on a price. Do not put your fingerprints on a range, because I can tell you, if you play this game long enough, you will be wrong. I want you to be right all the time.
That is, Denny, you're invited every day. If you put your fingerprints on it, you're going to be wrong at some point. If you never have a pronoun attached to it and never have your opinion on it, it's always the market, you can never be wrong. That's awesome.
Well, isn't it right? Has anyone ever been shocked that things have sold more than you ever thought possible?
Of course.
And you guys, if you've been in the market, I mean, agents in our area, we're starting to see the market go back to buyer's market, but agents that have been in real estate 15 years in Florida have never seen a retraction of the market. Believe me. Look, now I know why my grandfather collected string. After he passed away, he had this old string and he put it into a ball, because he'd been through the Depression. Listen, I have been through that. I know the market, it is not 100% predictable. In fact, one of my axioms in my book is going to be top market value, and most sellers would like that. Top market value is not even knowable until you expose it to the market. I don't care what supercomputer works on your CMA. It will not predict top market value. So we go back to the role play, got to hurry. So somewhere between 4 and 450 is where the past sales have been. Guys, where would you like to initially position your home?
450.
Yeah, top dollar.
Man, I wish we had sellers like you in Florida. They never say 450. They say, well, I want 550, 650, 750 $1. They want more money, right? Because they're still believing the market's what it was. But here's the point. Here is the main point of my way, the better way. So, all right. So are you saying then, if we initially position your home at 450, are you ready to move forward with me?
Sure.
Awesome. Knuckle bump. Now, this is a rule, you guys. When you're in the pricing conversation, you better make sure that that's the last little thing that has to work for you and them to move forward. Because if there's other little things hanging around, like you're playing whack-a-mole with these other objections, don't go to price or I should say positioning. The other thing is this, and there's experienced people watching this. I don't give away my expertise, you guys, for free. If you're interviewing other people, I will talk how I work, but I won't give you, not that I give a price anyway or a position, I won't go into positioning if you're interviewing. If you push back on that, it's an easy response. Listen, if you're not going to hire me, what difference does it make what I think?
I like that.
So you said 450, no problem. And the conversation is identical. Now that we've agreed to work together, you mind if I share with you what's going to happen next? Who doesn't want to know what's going to happen next? All right, so that was easy peasy. Let's go back. All right, I'm asking you guys, listen, the past sales have been between 4 and 450. Where would you like to initially position? Now, I want you to think of one of the sellers you met with that probably is unrealistic. What number might they come up with?
600.
All right. 600. Watch this. It may sound like, Jaws 2. So if we agree to have the initial position at 600, are you saying you're ready to move forward with me today?
Yes.
Knuckle bump. Now that we've agreed to work together, do you mind if I share with you what's going to happen next?
Yes, please.
What was the difference between those two things?
Man, you closed both times.
Yeah.
Did I get into a tug of war with you and say, you're full of something? It shouldn't be that. And no, I get the commitment first. Knuckle bump. Now I'm going to move my chair on your side of the table, guys, and I'm going to share with you what's going to happen next. Low to no showings, no offers, or it sells. Okay, guys, what are you going to do if the market says no? I'm having the conversation with strategic positioning after the commitment.
I like this. Instead of making your position known, getting buy-in on that, and then getting buy-in on you. So you're getting buy-in on you, becoming a team. That way you can attack the problem, not the person, right? You can attack it together as a team. And then you're showcasing, hey, we go at 650, here's potentially one of the outcomes. If we go 450, here's another outcome. And yet we're still on the same team. Let's talk about this together.
Yeah, and so if they were like ready to do business, but you start getting into a tug of war with them on basically telling them they're wrong on their number, are you moving away from them or closer to them?
Yeah, we're moving away for sure. They're defending themselves.
Here's the other thing. I said 4 to 450, 650 is a little bit out there, right? But you have motivation. Hey, look, you know what? Here, at some point it gets to be ridiculous. But let me ask you, could I say with 100% certainty that you would not get 650 for your own?
No.
Then why would I stand in the way of you wanting that? As long as it's what? Hear me. It's your number, not mine. It's your number. I have no fingerprints on that. So if we initially position at 650, are you ready to move forward? Yes. Okay, I'm going to share with you what's going to happen next. I'll share with you all the different potential pitfalls of not having the right position. And if you're in a falling mark, I'll have all that. But like you said, Marcus, I'm on your team now. I'm your counselor. I'm letting you know, like your doctor here, are the potential side effects if you want to smoke sweet and low. What?
It's let's walk this dog together, right? It's let's do this as a team. And I think that psychologically, they're not defending themselves out the gate because they already have some kind of number in their head based on whatever criteria and information they're getting. Now they've got a teammate, and you're just simply educating them on everything that they're going to potentially experience based upon that number that they authored. And yet authorship is ownership, and you're making them own that number. I love that.
Well, we're getting short on time, but if I come back, we'll have a session B, and we'll talk about. Real estate agents are having to learn to service a listing. Back when the market was hot, you could have an index card on a popsicle stick and it would get multiple offers. Now they don't sell in the first 15 minutes or 15 days. So you had better service them with the 3Ms. When I come back, I'd be happy to talk about that. But real quick, if you don't mind, I would like your gang to know about Gary's Recon, which I have to run to. It's daily, 9:30 to 10 o'clock Eastern or 8:30 to 9 o'clock Central. And you can do the math. You're in Tokyo. I don't know. So that's daily. Then also we have a Friday mastery call that's free, 1 to 2 Eastern. So anything you want to say before I run the recon, you guys?
Man, you're awesome, dude. As always, guys, what a way to have a supercharged morning. Hop on G.R.O.W, get your mindset right, get some tactics, then hop right into real recon role playing, and then go check out Denny's book right here, man. The Mastery of Real Estate. You just heard it from the man himself. 7,000 wins and all the lessons he learned on the 25,000 ones that didn't go your way. Man, speed up your learning process, speed up your success, and go check out the GOAT himself on the written page with the Mastery of Real Estate. Let's go, everybody.
Denny, appreciate your time, brother. Thank you for pouring in such a quick form and fashion. You gave so much value in 26 minutes, brother. Thank you for all you do.
All right. See you guys.
Bye, brother. See you later, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Wednesday. Go check out the book. We're going to have Denny back, obviously, to continue with this listing mastery and keep pouring into us. Marcus, so many takeaways today, buddy.
Oh, my gosh, man. And we said no fluff. My man's on to the next thing. He's got a book coming out, like Mastery every Friday. All this is free, by the way, except the book, right? Except the book. All those are free. Guys, you have at your fingertips a mastery level practice and role play on sales conversations, and then to get that kind of value consistently. And that's one resource, a resource that we absolutely love and appreciate and see massive value in. And yet our entire KW ecosystem, all these are at your fingertips. Take advantage, find your place, stay consistent, and put it on your calendar. We love you. We mean it. We can't wait to see you tomorrow. See y'all.